Dyer's Daily. Well, dear listener, I'm sure that we've all had that very liberating experience when you look over stuff that you've collected over time, in particular, papers and documents and things that you no longer require and have absolutely no use for, and finally say to yourself, I really need to sort through this and get rid of it. And the problem is, right, is that you've been wanting to get rid of it for a long time, but you just need the time and the headspace to do it, because looking over old documents can be quite an experience, let's say, because you're almost reliving it, unless you literally just go, right, it's all going in a paper shredder and that's it. Because chances are, right, amongst all that rubbish is something of value, and that has happened on a few occasions. You have things that you forget about completely, and I'm delighted to say, dear listener, that I have had this experience fairly recently, and it has been extremely liberating. It has had quite a positive effect on my mood, and certainly the ability, although slightly difficult, to let things go at first, because you always think, oh, I might need that. Eventually, once you let it go, once you put it through the paper shredder, once you press delete on the computer tab, it pretty much is like, wow, that is a load off my mind. And I'm sure that in this current situation, during the nationwide, worldwide lockdown pandemic situation that we find ourselves in, I'm sure that many of you said at the start, I could probably go through those papers now. I could probably sort through that box of things that I've been waiting to sort through for ages because I finally have the time. Now let me ask you, dear listener, have you done it? And if not, why not? And if you're still off from whatever your everyday life is there still time to do that job that you've been wanting to do? Or maybe because it's such a difficult time emotionally for a lot of people, maybe this isn't the right time for you to do that. Whatever your situation may be, I do recommend doing it at some point. So yeah, I just wanted to share my experience, because I had this thing a couple of years ago where I sorted through some old university papers, and yeah, they all went into recycling. If you've got paper, remember to recycle, of course, unless it is personal documentation. It went into recycling, and it was so, it was like 3 years of my life put into a recycling bin, and keeping obviously some documents and some things that I'd like to keep, but a lot of it was like notes from lectures and all things like that, and it's things that you'd never really use. Stuff that is very indicative of the time in which they were written, but perhaps doesn't make any sense in hindsight. I used to write like one-word notes, so a lot of them are just one word scribbled on a piece of paper. What's the point in keeping that? Or, things of that nature. It's interesting, isn't it? And I'm sure it's one of the many jobs that during this current situation we've all been meaning to do. So yeah, go ahead and do it if you can. So how am I doing? Is this okay? I think we're nearly up to the 80 episode mark, or we're over the 80 episode mark now. Yes, we are. Yes, indeed. And it draws this episode to an end, that witty observation. So thank you very much for listening to this edition of Dyer's Daily. Please remember to rate, comment and subscribe on your favourite podcast provider. And also tweet me at JamieDyer89 on Twitter if you'd like to get in contact. And all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for listening. I've been Jamie Dyer. Bye-bye for now. Have a great day.